Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is Muhammad Nizam Ali. I'm Associate Member Affairs. Haroon sir is running a bit late. He's caught in traffic. Sajid sir is into some very tough situation right now. He's with some into some meetings right now. So uh, until Haroon Saab comes and joins us. Um, First of all, I would like to confirm from all of you if I'm audible. So in the chalk box, if I'm audible to you guys. Yes, yes, you are. Okay, fine. Great. So about the last session, uh, does anyone remember what was what we had gone through in the last session with Sajid? Um, so with by the raise of hands, if someone could come forward and share what we had gone through in the last session. Right. So we have Zishan. So I'll be right. So Zishan, yeah, you are unmuted. Self-muted. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, all of you. Thank you,
Walaikum
Nizam.
assalam.
Okay, from last session, I have basically learned three couple of things. One from Qasim Ali Shah video and the other from Denzel Washington videos.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I have learned from Qasim Ali Shah video is that you have to set a mindset that always try to win, not a losing mindset. Always try to keep a winning attitude so that
Okay.
you can, yeah, so you can easily achieve whatever you want to achieve or set your goal according to your expectations. And the other things from Denzel Washington video is without consistency, you never finish. Don't afraid to dream big. That means you have to persistent in your goal achievements. If you are not persistent in your goal achievement, you will never finish. Thank you. That's all my said. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zishan. Thank you for coming forward and having the courage to speak up. So next we have Memuna Asghar. So I'm unmuting you.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. Um, sir, Sir Harun Jan has shown us a video in which we have learned about the types of mindset in which employee and entrepreneurship and investments we have learned. And beside this, sir also tell us about the OPA, in which we have assigned work of filling the Word file form, in which we have to some work about objectives of 12 months, and for this purpose also be worked. And for this we have also done some activities for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Memuna. I'm sorry for that. Yep. So, do we have anybody else? Yes, Fatani, Muhammad Fatani. Unmute yourself and go ahead.
Thank you, Nizam. Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum assalam.
लास्ट सेशन में हमने जो अहम बात जो जिस पर बहुत ज़्यादा सजीद सर का रिगर था, ये मतलब हमें सेल्फ रिगर करने के लिए कोशिश की कि हमें 12 मंथ्स में हमें क्या टारगेट सेट करना चाहिए फॉर 5 ईयर गोल, जिसके लिए उन्होंने हमें सेट करने के लिए मज़ीद कमिटेड होने के लिए 12 मंथ्स का ओपा असाइनमेंट भी दिया, और उन्होंने फॉर द टाइम मतलब उन्होंने एग्जांपल्स भी के तौर पर भी क्या बोलते हैं हमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें बताई कि अगर कोई बंदा जो है वो टैलेंट और में HR रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट हेड बनना चाहता है तो उसको क्या करना चाहिए। वो जब फर्स्ट टाइम फेल हुआ तो वो अनफॉर्चुनेट होने के अलावा वो क्या क्वालिटीज़ थी जो लैक कर रहा था। इस तरह हमारी जो सेशन और कन्वर्सेशन थी वो सेल्फ एक्चुअलाइजेशन और कि हमें सिर्फ यही नहीं कि अनफॉर्चुनेट था वो टाइम, और क्या स्किल क्या माइंडसेट होना चाहिए हमारा हर एक एक्टिविटी के अगेंस्ट, हर एक गोल के अगेंस्ट, उसके हवाले से हमें बात की गई। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much. So, Safir also would like to add, and you can go ahead, Safir.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Safir.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum assalam. जी, we can hear you. Walaikum assalam.
जिसमें माइंडसेट के बारे में बता रहे थे, डिफरेंट माइंडसेट थे जो कि फॉल करते थे डिफरेंट क्वाड्रेंट में। तो एम्प्लॉयज माइंडसेट था, सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट था, बिजनेस था और इन्वेस्टमेंट था। बेसिकली जो हमने पढ़ना था वो बिजनेस माइंडसेट का था और हमारा मेन फोकस भी बिजनेस माइंडसेट पे ही था। जी सर।
सही है, business mindset. Basically, it was, I guess, leadership. The mindset of a leader. Yes.
जी सर।
Right. Thank you so much, Safir. Okay. So you can go on and mute yourself, Safir, if there's nothing else. Thank you. Okay, Mohammad Azim. Mohammad Azim, you are self-muted, buddy. Okay, seems like he is not around. So, okay. So, anybody else who would like to add what our former participant missed, what we learned in last session? By raise of hand. Okay, seems like there's too much traffic around the city. Right. Okay,
Yes, that's
Rabia
exactly the case.
Sharif.
The
Okay,
traffic
so
is crazy right now.
welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
So you're talking to us from the car or from your residence?
No. From my room, yes. We just reached home. So thank you very much, Nizam. I think a good beginning. I heard a bit of the sharing from the last individual who was talking about Qasim Ali Shah's video. So that's that was a good takeaway. The quadrant that we were talking about. I think we also have to discuss our learnings from the last unmoderated session, and then a few announcements to make. As you know, we have the WhatsApp groups in place now. There are a few things that need to be addressed. Uh, I fail to understand why people are not receiving emails, why they're not checking emails. What is it that is causing most of the issues? Because this can be a big impediment when you're talking about your professional life. Um, Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. When you're in your professional life, this excuse that I did not receive your email, I was unable to retrieve the email, I was unable to join the session because of technical reasons. This becomes, a shortcoming for your professional growth. So we will discuss how such situations are to be avoided, how good internet connectivity, how important is that, how to positively contribute in a social network or a social media platform, how to positively contribute. So those are the things that will help you a lot while in your professional lives as well. I know most of the people in the group are working professionals, and therefore will have experienced these things in the past as well. So let me first of all give you a brief detail about how the email process at ACCA goes on. What steps do we take, and then we'll try to identify why certain individuals are still not seamlessly getting our emails. So ACCA has subscribed to a platform, which is an emailer platform. It's a cloud-based emailing platform. And what we do is we compose an email, we put the content in, we put all the links in, and then we have lists uploaded into the platform, lists of email addresses and lists of names of all individuals. uh, these are all uploaded into the system as a block. So for example, there is an email list by the name group, 6 digits group A plus S, uploaded in the platform that we are using. So all we do is, and that, by the way, that email list has about 580 emails. Yeah, so literally all those individuals who were selected for this program from within the affiliates and the students fraternity, they're all in that email group, whether or not they're attending the current sessions or not. So what we do is we just compose an email and we select that email list and send it to all. Now, it is not that we individually select email addresses, so this email should go to this individual and not to that individual. It doesn't happen like that. Any email that you select is sent out to the complete email list. Okay, and therefore there isn't a possibility, there isn't a chance that you know 2 out of 10 individuals will be left out. So if it is 580 individuals, उनमें से 500 को तो मिल गई email, लेकिन 80 को emails नहीं मिल रही, इसका chance नहीं हो सकता. अलबत्ता ये जरूर हो सकता है that that those emails got dropped into a promotions folder या junk folder etc, and therefore आपके inbox में नहीं आई, लेकिन आपके ही किसी off folder में drop in हो गई वो. So that is the process. I'm more than happy to take comments from you on why do you think you've not been receiving emails. Now, there is another responsibility that I want to share with you, and that is to the owner of an email address. If you think there is a particular reason why the emails are not freely coming in, they are being diverted into random folders, or they're being bounced back, or there is a spam control in your email box which is unnecessarily marking emails as spam and not letting them come into your inbox. This is something that you must individually try to attend to. And once you've attended it, I mean, you should make sure that emails are freely coming in. Okay. Um, okay. So if there is any question related to these emails that are being sent to you, I noticed when I was looking at the chat that was available there, in the group, in the WhatsApp group, that quite a few individuals were still saying that we have not received those emails. Whereas there were other individuals who were saying that we have received this email twice. Yeah. And actually, what we do is that we send out an email with the instruction that if within 3 days the individual did not open the email, please resend it. So this is how sophisticated our email platform is, which means if somebody had not opened up the email for 3 days, the emails will be sent again. Yeah, and therefore, if you've received it twice, that means that check worked. However, I am trying to address those individuals जो अभी ये कह रहे हैं कि उनको emails नहीं मिल रही. Please इस issue को जितना जल्दी sort out कर लें ये बेहतर है. अगर ये sort out नहीं होता तो may I suggest कि आप लोग अपना email address change कर लें and move to a platform where you can receive emails without any complaint. Okay, so in the professional life, if let's suppose, just imagine a situation where you have made an application for a job to an organization, and you are lucky, you get shortlisted, you are sent out an email from the employer, and that email did not reach you. It's just going to be your tough luck. ये आपकी बदकिस्मती होगी कि अगर कोई जॉब सिर्फ इस वजह से आप टेकअप ना कर सकें क्योंकि आपको उनकी ईमेल टाइम पे नहीं मिली. तो प्लीज ऐसी तमाम ग्लिचेस को आयरन आउट करना आपकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. कोई थर्ड पार्टीज की ओनरशिप नहीं लेती अब के ज़माने में. पहले ज़माने में जब ईमेल्स used to be a new phenomenon, उस वक्त there was a different scenario, but now it is the responsibility of the owner of the email to make sure that all the emails are safely received. They are put in specific folders where they belong. आपके रूल्स लगे हो सकते हैं ईमेल्स के ऊपर. फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे पास अगर दिन में कोई 250 ईमेल्स आती हैं तो अनलेस कि मैं उनको कैटेगराइज करूं, मैं उनको रूल्स पे लगा के उनको सेग्रीगेट करूं, I cannot address emails. I cannot make sure that all my emails are addressed. Similarly, there are certain individuals जिनकी emails को मैंने classify किया हुआ है as VIP emails. Yeah. So if let's suppose an email has certain content in it, जिसमें मैंने check लगाया हुआ है, if somebody is writing to me about, for example, the 6 digits program, classify this as a VIP email, put it in a VIP folder, right? These are the kind of steps that you have to take. Okay. Normally जो spam controls होते हैं वो ये check करते हैं कि एक email आपको जिस platform से आ रही है, क्या वो ईमेल एड्रेस आपके कॉन्टैक्ट बुक में या एड्रेस बुक में एडेड है या नहीं है. अगर नहीं एडेड है तो देयर इज क्वाइट अ स्ट्रॉन्ग पॉसिबिलिटी कि वो ईमेल को स्पैम मार्क करके प्रमोशंस के फोल्डर में डाल देगा. इसलिए इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप ACCA के जो ईमेल एड्रेसेस जहां से नॉर्मली ACCA ईमेल्स भेजता है आपको, वो अपने कॉन्टैक्ट बुक में ऐड कर लें. 6 डिजिट्स की जितनी भी ईमेल कम्युनिकेशन आपके पास भेजी गई है, उसके लिए जो हमने ईमेल एड्रेस यूज किया है वो था members.pk@acccaglobal.com. members.pk@acccaglobal.com. जिन लोगों को अपनी ईमेल्स ढूंढने में मुश्किल हो रही है, प्लीज इस ईमेल एड्रेस को सर्च करें, इसका एक अलग फोल्डर बना लें, राइट? इसको अपने एड्रेस बुक में ऐड कर लें ताकि आपको जब भी इस ईमेल एड्रेस से कोई ईमेल आए तो वो आपके पास ट्रिगर हो जाए किसी फोल्डर के अंदर और आप उसको रीड कर सकें. जी बिल्कुल, आप सही कह रहे हैं ताहा काजी. यू हैव टू ऐड ACCA's ऑफिशियल एड्रेस टू योर एड्रेस बुक. सो खैर इसकी वजह से आपकी काफी सारी जो प्रॉब्लम है, नो इट्स members.pk@acccaglobal.com. फिलहाल इसको करेक्ट कर लें, @acccaglobal.com. Let me write it for you. यहाँ निजाम आप प्लीज लिखते हैं. थैंक यू. members.pk@acccaglobal.com. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you. सो इससे आपके काफी सारे इश्यूज आयरन आउट हो जाएंगे. सेकेंडली, सोशल मीडिया का डेफिनेटली बहुत फायदा होता है. सोशल मीडिया लाइक व्हाट्सएप, आप नोटिस करें कि कल रात से जब से हमने ये ईमेल सर्कुलेट की थी टू ज्वाइन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप, उस वक्त से अब तक आई थिंक देयर आर अबाउट a good 170 200 individuals who've joined these groups, and look at the flow of communication, look at the speed with which communication is happening. Believe you me, मैं कोशिश ये करता हूँ कि जब मैं अपना ऑफिस का काम कर रहा हूँ, I'm sorry, why is my video switched off? जब मैं अपना ऑफिस का काम कर रहा हूँ, आई ट्राई कि मैं अपना फोन साइड पे रख दूँ और उसको उस वक्त तक अटेंड ना करूँ जब तक मैंने अपना काम कंप्लीट नहीं कर लिया हो. So I'm sorry, the reason why that happens is because I'm probably from an older generation. I've seen people multitasking. So, for example, I saw somebody driving, and that individual was also texting at the same time. Very dangerous. But I have this belief that the newer generation has the ability to multitask, and even if it is riding a motorbike and texting at the same time. But please don't do that. But as long as you're you're doing your office work, yeah, your social media platforms can definitely be accessible. However, you have to justify the time that you spend on them. Please make sure कि ये जो हमने WhatsApp groups create किए हैं, इनको professionally use करें. मुझे अभी तक कोई significant complaint नहीं आई, सिर्फ एक छोटा सा issue था, और I really appreciated the response from that individual, took it very positively. हम इस platform को कोशिश करेंगे कि 6 digit की communication के लिए use करें, ताकि अगर किसी को कोई communication track करनी पड़ती है तो वो आसानी से उसको दोबारा ढूंढ भी सके. ठीक है. और अगर बहुत ज्यादा मैसेजेस होंगे इसके अंदर, या दुर्र शहवार, आई कैन इमेजिन द न्यूअर जनरेशन, अगर बहुत ज्यादा मैसेजेस होंगे तो ऑफ कोर्स somebody who's only using it intermittently will find it difficult to make sure that uh, he or she does not miss or skip any message. एग्जैक्टली सफ़ीर, आपकी बात बिल्कुल ठीक है. अननेसेसरी कमेंट्स को हम इसमें से अवॉइड करेंगे. आई एम श्योर आप लोग और बहुत से ग्रुप्स में सोशल मीडिया पे कनेक्टेड होंगे, एंड देयरफॉर जोक्स एंड रिलीजियस ग्रीटिंग्स एंड ऑल, वो सब के सब साथ साथ चल रहे होते हैं. जी, अभी अजान का वक्त बिल्कुल हो चुका है ऑलमोस्ट. सो हम इंशाल्लाह नमाज ब्रेक लेंगे एट 7:20, और बल्कि 7:15 ले लेंगे. ठीक है. एंड देन वी विल कम बैक एंड आफ्टर 10 minutes एंड विल रिज्यूम आवर सेशन. और आज का जो सेशन होगा उसमें वी विल वंस अगेन बी टॉकिंग अबाउट objective setting. Today is the final session on objective setting, inshallah. And from the next time, Sajid is going to come in, and he's going to take us through the business model canvas, and coming up with your business plans. So Sajid unfortunately will not be able to join us today. हम लोग अभी continue करेंगे अपनी conversation from the last session on Microsoft Teams. अच्छा, टीम्स का भी एक मैंने नोटिस किया कि कुछ लोग मुझे they have been in touch with me and they have been saying कि टीम्स is acting up on their platforms. देखिए, very clearly, most of the mobile applications have different features or fewer features if you're using them on the mobile, but if you're using them on your laptop, they will have more features available. Okay. तो कुछ इंडिविजुअल्स जो ये कंप्लेन कर रहे थे कि उनको उनको हैंड रेज की ऑप्शन नहीं मिल रही है या उनको चैट की ऑप्शन नहीं मिल रही है. नॉर्मली ये इश्यूज अगर आपने अपने सेल फोन के ऊपर उस ऐप को इंस्टॉल किया हुआ है और उसका कोई पुराना वर्जन इंस्टॉल कर लिया हुआ है या वो अपडेटेड नहीं है ऐप, तो इस तरह के इश्यूज आपको आ सकते हैं. पहली प्रेफरेंस आपकी ये होनी चाहिए दैट इफ यू आर सिटिंग समवेयर ऑन अ डेस्क, ट्राई टू यूज अ लैपटॉप और उस लैपटॉप के ऊपर एप्लीकेशन को यूज करें. अगर नहीं कर पाते हैं, इफ यू आर ऑन द मूव, तो प्लीज मेक श्योर कि आपने मोबाइल पे जो एप्लीकेशन डाउनलोड की हुई है वो अपडेटेड हो, और उस पे फिर आप उसको यूज कर सकें फॉर कनेक्टिविटी। सो उससे आपके majority of the issues वो resolve हो जाएंगे। Once again, ACCA की साइड से when we saying जी आई नो बिलाल, गो टू वेबिनार एक वेबिनार का प्लेटफॉर्म है, इसलिए ये डेफिनेटली बेहतर है और हमें इसमें बहुत कम ग्लिचेस फेस करनी पड़ रही हैं। लेकिन जो टीम मीटिंग है इसकी लिमिटेशंस गो टू वेबिनार की ये हैं कि somebody has to start the webinar, somebody has to be there throughout the webinar, somebody has to unmute other people and then put them back on mute। अगर मैं ऑल अनम्यूट करता हूं तो पूरी ऑडियंस में से सिर्फ 25 लोग हैं जिनको अनम्यूट किया जा सकता है, उसके बाद ये काम नहीं करता। तो इस तरह के थोड़े से इश्यूज हैं विद गो टू वेबिनार। वेयर एज टीम्स में जहां पर अनमॉडरेटेड सेशन अगर हमने रन करना है, जहां पर हमें कंप्लीट इंडिपेंडेंस देनी है और फ्रीडम देना है, सम एनीबडी कैन अनम्यूट देयर माइक्स एंड स्पीक, उसके लिए टीम्स इज अ बेटर प्लेटफॉर्म। So for team meetings, Microsoft Teams is a better platform. So मैं explain कर रहा था कि Microsoft Teams का भी एक admin side है और एक client side है, ठीक है। जो version हम use कर रहे हैं Teams का, इसकी admin side ACCA globally handle करता है, okay? और all across the chain, all across ACCA in 80 countries in the world, and अगर किसी एक कंट्री से वो ऑनवर्ड मीटिंग्स के लिए भी यूज हो रहा है जैसे कि हम लोग यूज कर रहे हैं, राइट। सो एक पॉलिसी स्टैंडर्ड ऑल अक्रॉस यूज हो रही होती है, ठीक है। उस पॉलिसी को हम लोग रीडिफाइन नहीं कर सकते, एडमिन कंट्रोल हमारे एंड पे नहीं है, हम यूजर कंट्रोल हमारे पास अवेलेबल है। एंड सेम इज द केस विद all of you as invited as guests to Microsoft team, and therefore you can easily join in। same policies are applicable to all the guests, ठीक है। हर कोई अनम्यूट कर सकता है, हर कोई चैट कर सकता है, हर कोई हैंड रेज कर सकता है। हमारे एप्लीकेशन साइट के ऊपर इसकी परमिशंस अवेलेबल हैं, ठीक है। अगर कोई एक इंडिविजुअल कंप्लेन करता है कि मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ, इसका मतलब ये है कि आपके वर्जन में कोई डिफरेंस है या आपके ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में कोई डिफरेंस आया हुआ है, उस वजह से ये ऐसे इश्यूज आते हैं। कोशिश करें प्लेटफॉर्म चेंज करें एंड आपके ये इश्यूज सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएंगे। ये मैं इसलिए आज थोड़ा सा इसको एड्रेस कर रहा हूँ कि अब हमें तकरीबन तकरीबन मेरा ख्याल है कोई हमने 4-5 सेशंस रन कर लिए हैं। तो जुलाई का पूरा महीना हम लोग ये सेशंस रन कर चुके हैं और हम अब आज 11th of August पे पहुंच गए हैं। ये इश्यूज बहुत जल्दी ओवरकम हो जाने चाहिए ताकि हम लोग फुल कंसंट्रेशन के साथ जो काम कर रहे हैं, ऑब्जेक्टिव सेटिंग, कंटेंट डिलीवरी एक्सेट्रा, जो हम कर रहे हैं उसकी तरफ ज्यादा फोकस कर सकें। So I've just taken this time out just to make you people understand where can there be possible issues, right? अगर आप एक ग्रुप के अंदर एक चीज डिस्कस करें कि मुझे ईमेल नहीं मिली और कोई और कह रहा है कि मुझे मिल गई है, तो इसका मतलब ये है कि आपके एंड पे कोई इशू है, उसको प्लीज इमीडिएटली सॉर्ट आउट करने की कोशिश करें। ओके, all right, great, thank you very much। Let's very quickly go on to a next topic which was our social profiling, ठीक है। तो हम कोशिश करेंगे कि अभी जो हमारे पास टाइम है नमाज ब्रेक से पहले, उसमें से कुछ चीजें हैं हमने जिनको एड्रेस करना है तो उसको करते जाएं। एक सोशल प्रोफाइलिंग के ऊपर आपसे डिस्कशन करनी थी मुझे, उसमें कुछ लोगों को इश्यूज आ रहे थे और कुछ हमें इश्यूज आ रहे थे। आई थॉट आई विल डिस्कस दोस विद यू। एंड देन सेकेंडली जो आप लोगों ने ओपा डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करना था, उसके ऊपर कुछ लोगों को इश्यूज आ रहे थे। सो इसको भी हम लोग एड्रेस करने की कोशिश करेंगे कि क्या हो रहा है। जनाब, सोशल प्रोफाइलिंग, वी एक्सप्लेन टू यू कि हम इस सोशल प्रोफाइलिंग का पर्पस क्या है, इसको हम किस लिए यूज करेंगे। और आई थिंक thanks to some of you who have sent us excellent pictures, excellent content which is ready for uploading on the social media platforms, and therefore हमने ये कोशिश की है कि जिन लोगों ने हमें अच्छी पिक्चर्स भेज दी हैं और अच्छे मैसेजेस भेज दिए हैं उनको वेरी क्विकली प्रिपेयर करके हम लोगों ने उनको ईमेल के थ्रू डिस्पैच कर दिया जाएगा अभी बहुत जल्दी, और उसके बाद आप लोगों को इंस्ट्रक्शंस मिल जाएंगी कि आप लोग इसको अपने सोशल मीडिया पे अपलोड कर लें। कुछ पिक्चर्स हमें ऐसी मिली हैं, कुछ लोगों ने ऐसी पिक्चर्स खींच के भेजी हैं जो कि इस पर्पस के लिए सूटेबल नहीं है। वो एक आपकी अपनी सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट तो हो सकती है, लेकिन जिस किस्म की प्रोफेशनल पोस्ट हम डेवलप करना चाह रहे हैं, जो आप लोगों ने आई एम श्योर देखी भी है, इसका एक टेम्पलेट आपको दिखाया भी गया है। निज़ाम अगर आपके पास अवेलेबल है तो ज़रा ओपन कीजिए कोई टेम्पलेट। Nizam is currently working on compiling these templates and doing a good job. There were about 190 or 200 excellent, yeah. So there's about 200 individuals जिन्होंने अभी तक हमें ये भेज दिए हैं और उनकी ये सोशल मीडिया पोस्ट रेडी है। So yes, so अभी ये देखिए आपके सामने 3 पिक्चर्स आई थी। निज़ाम जरा एक दफा दोबारा रिपीट कर दें। Okay, okay, and the third one. Okay. जी जनाब, अब देखें इन दो तीनों में फर्क कितना है। दो के अंदर देयर इज अ प्लेन बैकग्राउंड या देयर इज देयर इज सम बैकग्राउंड बट नॉट अनदर इंडिविजुअल स्टैंडिंग, और या कोई डिस्ट्रैक्शन नहीं है उस पिक्चर के अंदर। ओके, आई थिंक एक्सीलेंट पिक्चर, smile on the face, confident look. Exactly. I mean, this is fantastic. This could be probably the best picture that I could I could pick up. So Hassan, fantastic picture. This should be your picture on the Facebook as well. So yes, exactly. So white background. Um, इसका अगर आपने standard compare करना है, so pick up a picture of any chief executive of an organization. उनकी कोई भी एनुअल रिपोर्ट से पिक्चर उठा लें, कंपनी ब्रोशर से उठा लें, कंपनी की वेबसाइट पे चले जाएं जहां पर उन्होंने अपनी मैनेजमेंट टीम का इंट्रोडक्शन किया होता है, राइट, वहां पर चले जाएं एंड लुक फॉर द पिक्चर्स ऑफ द सीनियर ऑफिशियल्स ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। ओके, एंड यू विल अंडरस्टैंड कि किस किस्म की पिक्चर्स हम आप लोगों से रिक्वायर कर रहे हैं। वी आर प्रोजेक्टिंग यू एंड यू डेफिनेटली आर, you deserve that projection of professionals, yeah. And if it's a picture taken at a wedding where you were standing in a group and you've cropped out your picture from it and send it to us to be put in this professional post, it will not gel. It will definitely not gel, yeah. Similarly, if it's a selfie taken, yeah, and then there is a very nice message right under it, yeah, and that selfie was taken on a road, standing on a road where there are cars passing in the background and people passing in the background. So that may be an excellent picture to show that you are an active individual and you like traveling, etc. But when you are giving out a professional impression, uh, this is how the photograph should look like. When I started my career, I can tell you, I started it with an organization in Singapore, a Singaporean organization, and I'm very thankful to my line manager. His name was Gos Yu Sang, and you know how particular he was about dresses. Singaporeans are, by the way, workaholics, and they work like anything. If you if you find them sitting idle, or if you find them not working, it must be something really, really wrong going on, because of which they're not working. Otherwise, they are workaholics, very simply. This individual was so particular about dressing up in the organization, about what are you wearing, what do you look like. I can give you some examples. He would always want us to wear a light shirt and a dark suit. A light shirt and a dark suit, right? It could be white or blue. Yeah. उसके बाद अब pinks भी आने शुरू हो गए हैं, and there are other combinations available. But number one, that, and number two, how important, he used to say to me कि आपने जो glasses लगाई हुई हैं ये anti glare glasses होनी चाहिए, so that when you're looking at people, they should not be distracted by the image or a reflection from your glasses. Okay, अभी मेरी जो इस वक्त glasses यूज हुई हैं, they are not, probably not anti glare. अभी आपको screen के colors इसमें से नजर आ रहे होंगे, etc. So that is how particular they are. right? Or probably वो वाला जो anti-glare which he was mentioning is not available in Pakistan also. So anti-glare glasses. I mean, so that's how particular people are when you're talking about, or professionals, you know, international professionals are in talking about personality, giving out an impression, etc. So that is what I suggest you'll have to develop. अच्छा, मैं चले बात को wind up करता हूँ. हमें अक्सर लोगों की तरफ से बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर्स मौसूल हो गई हैं और एक बहुत अच्छा कैप्शन भी, एक मैसेज भी उन्होंने भेज दिया है. तो आपको जो निज़ाम ने भी कुछ पिक्चर्स दिखाई हैं, दे आर रेडी टू गो. ओके, देयर आर सर्टेन अदर पिक्चर्स जो कि मैं दिखाऊंगा नहीं यहाँ पर फॉर कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी सेक. आप लोग खुद देख लें. अगर वो ऐसी नहीं है आपकी पिक्चर्स, तो प्लीज या तो आप वाइट बैकग्राउंड पे किसी स्टूडियो पे चले जाएं, वहां पर खिंचवा लें इफ यू हैव द इंटरेस्ट. And if you are safe going out. Otherwise, stand in front of a wall, uh, you know, a shelf with books in the background. Yeah, your workstation at the office if it is a nice place. Yeah, ask somebody else, hand over your phone to somebody else who knows lighting कैसी हो, कहाँ से एंगल अच्छा आपका बनेगा. Look into the camera. Do not look away from the camera. Look into the camera, smile, take a few pictures, pick up the one that you think is the best one, and send it to us again. Okay, there is no harm in Nizam, will you let us know कि हम क्या करना चाह रहे हैं. आज मुझे मार्केटिंग ने बताया था कि उन्होंने कुछ सिंगल आउट की हैं कुछ फोटोग्राफ्स, एंड दे वुड वांट कि उनको मैसेज, ईमेल मैसेज भेज दिया जाए उन लोगों को जिनकी फोटोग्राफ सूटेबल नहीं है. सो आप प्लीज मार्केटिंग टीम के साथ कोऑर्डिनेट कर लीजिए और ईमेल भिजवा दें मेरे थ्रू या राशिद के थ्रू टू दोज इंडिविजुअल्स, और आप लोगों को हमें वो फोटोग्राफ्स दोबारा भेजनी होंगी. प्लीज डू दिस एज सून एज पॉसिबल, राइट. और आपने जो प्लेटफॉर्म या जो फॉर्म यूज करना है फॉर रीसबमिशन, वो वही है जो हमने आपको पहले भेजा था. इसका कोई और तरीका नहीं है. प्लीज इसको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में नहीं डालिएगा. ओके, सो आप उसको रीयूज कर सकते हैं फॉर्म को, और उसके अंदर अपनी पिक्चर और अपनी एंट्री दोबारा से ऐड कर सकते हैं. सो दैट वाज अबाउट द सोशल मीडिया प्रोफाइलिंग. जिन लोगों की पिक्चर्स तैयार हैं, जिनकी ये टेम्पलेट्स तैयार हैं, ये बहुत जल्द उनको मिल जाएंगी विद इंस्ट्रक्शन कि आपने उसको कहाँ अपलोड करना है और किस तरह रेगुलरली इसकी टेक केयर करनी है कि ये विजिबल रहे, राइट. एंड देन हमने नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स क्या करने हैं, और इनमें से हम ACCA के प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर या पेज, सोशल मीडिया पेजेस के ऊपर किस तरह रिपीटेडली इनको यूज कर रहे होंगे. So much so about social media profiling. About the OPA document. Again, some issues with people who are not able to upload. इसका भी reason मैं आपको बता देता हूँ. Very quickly, कुछ लोगों की browser settings ऐसी होती हैं कि वो certain contents of the website को as phishing कंसिडर करती हैं या एज डेंजरस malware कंसिडर करती हैं और उनको ओपन नहीं करने देती हैं. ओके, सो वेरी सिंपली स्पीकिंग इसका इलाज ये है कुछ ब्राउजर स्विच कर लें और वहां से इस फॉर्म को एक्सेस करें, और या लिंक कॉपी पेस्ट करके किसी और ब्राउजर में, browser can be Internet Explorer, it could be Firefox, it could be Chrome. So इनमें से interchangeably use करके देख लें. Particularly जो ऑफिशियल लैपटॉप्स होते हैं कंपनीज के, उनके अंदर इस किस्म की पॉलिसी सेटिंग्स हुई होती हैं कि जिसकी वजह से आप कुछ कंटेंट वेबसाइट्स का ओपन नहीं कर सकते. सो फॉर एग्जांपल बैनर ओपनिंग नहीं अलाउड होती कुछ के अंदर, एटसेट्रा. कुछ स्क्रिप्ट्स रन नहीं करने देते, कुछ फ्लैश का कंटेंट प्ले नहीं करने देते. सो ज़रा देख लीजिए, अगर आपको कोई एरर आ रहा है तो प्लीज़ अपने एंड पे एक दफ़ा सर्च कर लें, कंफर्म कर लें अगर किसी और को भी वो एरर आ रहा है ग्रुप के अंदर, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के अंदर. अगर कुछ लोग कर पा रहे हैं, इसका मतलब ये है कि एरर के चांसेस जो हैं वो आपके एंड पे ज़्यादा हैं. ठीक है जी. सो अभी तक जो हमारे पास सबमिशंस आई हुई हैं उनमें से हमने आज कुछ सबमिशंस को डिस्कस करना है. जो ओपा की सबमिशंस हैं, we will go back to you people, we will ask you about what were your findings from that session? बल्कि हमारे पास 5 मिनट हैं, या हमारे पास 7:15 हो गए हैं, नमाज ब्रेक अभी ले लेते हैं हम. So जैसे हम नमाज ब्रेक से फारिग होंगे, we will start discussing our OPA documents जो हमने जो पहले किए हैं उसमें टेकअवेज क्या थे, और आज हम कुछ स्पेसिफिक इंडिविजुअल्स के ओपन डॉक्यूमेंट्स को ओपन करके इनको रिव्यू भी करेंगे. ओके, इन एनी केस आज वाला सेशन जो है हमारा, दिस विल बी आवर लास्ट सेशन ऑन ऑब्जेक्टिव सेटिंग. इसके बाद हम फ्रीक्वेंटली इस डॉक्यूमेंट को रिविजिट किया करेंगे, बट ये बात हम आगे कंटिन्यू करते हैं. लेट्स टेक अ नमाज ब्रेक. सो इट्स 7:16 बाय माय वॉच. जी इमरान, मैं आपको बता दूंगा कितने लोगों ने अप्रूव फोटोग्राफ्स, जिनकी फोटोग्राफ्स पे हम रिप्लाई करेंगे, उनको दोबारा इंटीमेट करेंगे, ईमेल भेजेंगे, सिर्फ वो लोग हमें भेजें. अगर आपको ईमेल नहीं आई है हमारी तरफ से, तो अबाउट योर फोटोग्राफ यू नो टू बी इम्प्रूव्ड, जब तक वो ईमेल नहीं आती उस वक्त तक रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कीजिएगा, ठीक है, अदरवाइज हमारे पास डुप्लीकेट्स हो जाएंगे. चलिए हम अब नमाज ब्रेक ले लेते हैं. इफ देयर एनी क्वेश्चंस, so please type them in. When we come back, we'll very quickly have a look at some of the questions and some of the observations, and then we'll continue. We'll try to save on time as well. So we'll meet you after namaz 7:17. Let's meet at 7:30. 7:30. Let's meet at 7:30, and then we'll continue our today's session. All right, I think we should start slowly getting back in. I was looking at the questions that some of you had put up. इनको हम साथ साथ address करते जाएंगे. Let's first of all start talking about the last session, unmoderated session, in which you were supposed to share your OPA document with the group and get their feedback. So if there were any key takeaways from that session, please mention them in the comments section. Otherwise, raise hands so that we can start our conversation. Just to seed a few discussion points, similar question was put up to members in their session yesterday, and their feedback was that because of shortage of time, not everybody got an opportunity to discuss all their objectives that they had put down in the OPA document, and even were able to share one or one maximum two objectives each. Uh, they didn't have time for for feedback from other participants about those objectives also. So how far was that true in your case? Muhammad Fatani, Muhammad Ali. Okay. All right, we can begin with you, Fatani. I've unmuted you. Share your comments, takeaways.
Hello.
Ji Fatani, we can hear you now.
Yes. Thank you. लास्ट सेशन जो हमारा टीम वर्क सेशन था उसमें काफ़ी हमने क्या बोलते हैं जो लीड हमारा था शुएब ने हम बहुत कोऑपरेट किया और पूरी टीम ने बहुत कोऑपरेट किया एट द एंड ऑफ सेशन बहुत ज़्यादा कैंडिडेट सारे मेरे ख्याल से एफिलिएट्स शायद से थे जिन्होंने शायद ज्वाइन नहीं किया हमारे जो कोरम है 100 और 80 का उसके अगेंस्ट 45 की प्रेजेंस थी बट जो भी प्रेजेंस थी सबको चांस मिला 70 to 80% मतलब ग्रुप मेंबर्स ने डिस्कस किया बहुत सारी दूसरी चीज़ें डिस्कस हुई आउट ऑफ द टॉपिक उस पे भी ग्रुप मेंबर्स ने एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट किया बहुत इंगेजिंग था और उस सेशन में ही हमने अपना व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप भी क्रिएट किया और बहुत सारी दूसरी जो प्रीवियस सेशंस थे उन पर भी डिस्कशन हुई एट द एंड ऑफ सेशन बहुत इंटरेक्टिव था एंड आई अप्रिशिएट ऑल मेंबर्स जो ग्रुप के मेंबर्स थे हमारे और मेरे ख्याल से बहुत इंसाइटफुल चीज़ें मिली जिसकी वजह से सब बहुत जल्दी अपना कंप्लीट कर पाए होंगे ओपा
फतानी कुछ टेकअवेज फ्रॉम दैट सेशन अगर आप शेयर करना चाहें तो फॉर एग्जांपल क्या ऐसा फीडबैक मिला which was in addition to your information
फीडबैक मुझे मैं अपने डॉक्यूमेंट उस वक्त तक तो रेडी नहीं कर पाया था मतलब
ठीक है
ट्रू मतलब मैं अपनी तो लेकिन ये कि जो मैंने वहाँ पर विटनेस किया दूसरी ओपा जो कैंडिडेट्स के थे उनमें बहुत सारा इनपुट मुझे मिला कि उन्होंने किस तरह से मिक्सअप किया हुआ था अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को और पर्पस को और फिर उनमें पर्पस के साथ साथ एक्टिविटीज़ को तो इन चीज़ों को और मज़ीद क्लियर करने में आसानी हुई और मैंने फिर ऑब्जेक्टिव का जो सैम्पल था उसको भी बहुत फोकस किया और नेटवर्किंग कोई बातें और जॉब सर्च के हवाले से अच्छा, इसके अलावा मैंने लास्ट सेशन जो 2 weeks टू स्ट्रॉन्ग का सेशन था वो अटेंड किया, जिसमें असद मलिक ने काफ़ी नेटवर्क के हवाले से एड ऑन किया, तो वो भी मुझे ओपा में डिस्कस करने में आसानी हुई और ऑब्जेक्टिव सेटिंग आसानी हुई।
ओके ओके,
की
ऑलराइट,
की टेक अवेज मेरे लिए ओपा को और बेहतर तरीके से डिसाइड करने में।
ठीक है, ऑलराइट, चलें, लेट मी आस्क अ फ्यू क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम ऑल ऑफ यू देन. What is the ideal life of an objective, or can there be variable objectives with different lifespans? अभी तक हम जो ओपा डॉक्यूमेंट के थ्रू या गोल सेटिंग और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के थ्रू या डिस्कवरिंग योरसेल्फ के थ्रू जो हम लोग जिस टाइप की ऑब्जेक्टिव सेट कर रहे हैं, उनका क्या लाइफ स्पैन है, और इससे लॉन्गर टर्म हो सकते हैं कि नहीं, और इससे शॉर्टर टर्म भी हो सकते हैं कि नहीं?
क्या मैं रिप्लाई करूं?
जी जी, go on if you want to take a shot. Otherwise, if somebody else has an answer as well, please raise hands.
तो मैं ही कहूँगा कि जिस तरह से कासिम अली शाह की वीडियो हमने शेयर की, हमें सजी सर ने, उन्होंने यही कहा कि हमें सिर्फ एक बॉक्स के अंदर स्टक होकर नहीं रहना चाहिए, बल्कि हमारे पास आइडियल जो होना चाहिए वो बिजनेस वाला बॉक्स होना चाहिए, जहाँ लीडरशिप है और जहाँ हम बहुत सारी दूसरी चीज़ें एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं। तो एक और जो ओपा के वाले से बात है, तो हैं, जैसे पैमिक ने बहुत सारी चीज़ें हमें लर्न करने में मदद की कि हमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें इमीडिएट अडेप्ट करनी पड़ती हैं, तो ओपा इज नॉट, जो पर्पस है, जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है, उसको बैक पर्पस जो है वो हमें क्या बोलते हैं, इमोशनली अटैच रहना चाहिए उससे, ताकि हम अपने ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को अपने पर्पस के हिसाब से डिफाइन कर सकें।
पैशनेट रहना चाहिए, ठीक है, स्पेसिफिक रहना चाहिए, very should be a focused document. But as far as the lifespan is concerned, अब्दुल वहाब कह रहे हैं फॉर एग्जांपल दैट कि उन्होंने इसको अपने नेक्स्ट 2 years के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स के लिए यूज किया है. So I think I will agree with most of the answers that have been given, that it really depends upon the situation and depends upon the type of objective it is. The same document can be used for shorter term objectives. So I would say 3 months to 6 months to a year. And a similar document can be used for longer term objectives, 5 years, 10 years, more than that. Yeah. So, and therefore, the activities that you identify and the purpose that you identify also has to be in keeping with the nature of the objective, the achievability, or the challenge that that objective offers you. उसके साथ भी लिंक्ड होना चाहिए, और एक्टिविटीज भी जो हैं that you listing down in the OPA document, they should also be depending or keeping in mind the time by which you can achieve it. Of course, if you have more time to achieve a particular objective, you have more time to learn new skills also. You have more time to self-reflect also. You have more time to overcome more challenges also. And therefore, in my opinion, the longer term objectives should be more challenging, should be more should be more difficult to achieve. Yeah. And the shorter term objectives should also be equally challenging, but they should rather keep in perspective what your current uh, you know uh, what your current mindset is, what your current skill set is, the tool set. Keep all those in mind, and therefore, acha ji, chale. Let me bring up this conversation now. Out of why, what, and how, we know for a fact that how is to be dropped initially, is not to be discussed initially. But out of the two, why and what, where would you begin? By challenging yourself with the why question, or with by challenging yourself with the what question? Why or what? What comes first?
Why come first?
Why comes first? You all agree? And why is that? Memuna Asghar,
क्योंकि वही
unmute.
हमारे
Sir, what comes first? Because we have to define what have to done in for the last 12 months and for the next 12 months also. And then we have to focus on why.
Okay.
That we have to also sorry sir interruption.
Yeah.
We have to specify why that why we have to done. We have to be financially independent, and we have to learn from the sessions. We have to learn from all the other things from the
Okay.
senior professionals,
ठीक है.
and
ठीक है, मैं
we have to.
जी
Thank you, sir.
बताइए. जी जी कंप्लीट कर लें आप.
And then we have to define our how. For this, we have to define our activities by networking and by learning some things, just like I want to do investments in stock exchange. Then for this purpose, I have to understand softwares, we trade softwares and other things. And besides this, I also want to basically, I am a research analyst in darts and brokerage, and in which I have performing evaluation on various companies. For this, I have to make recommendation to various clients and others. For this, I have to also enhance my communication skills and learning skills. For this, this session is very important for me, and I am scheduling my activities on the basis of that session.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. बिलाल बिलाल पाशा, अभी तक जो responses आ रहे हैं, I think most people are saying what comes first, and then once you've agreed what is it that you want to achieve, then the question of why do you want to do it, what good will that do, and then there's some other challenge questions that Sajid has told you about. I'm going to ask you about those also. Okay, so Bilal, please unmute yourself.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sir, I think the why comes first, because why is the reason that you want to begin your what you have thought about it for so long to begin. If your journey, if you taking a journey, you have to think that why you are taking a journey in the first place. Then you will decide that what will be the included in that journey that you are
Okay.
taking, or what the things that will
Okay.
be included in that journey. So,
Okay.
sir, I think
Interesting.
that why is
But
fundamental
Bilal,
to the.
but I agree. There is no right and wrong in this. I mean, certain people will look at what, certain people look at why. But when you were saying, giving this example, um, undertaking a journey. So isn't this journey a what question first, and then why you were undertaking this journey is the why question, and then how will you undertake that journey is the how question. Okay. So, but in any case, different people do it differently. I agree with the majority that the first question that comes to mind is what. So, for example, um, uh, the six digits program. Yeah, what is it that we want to do? Yeah? Why are we trying to do it? Okay, and then the entire content of the program, etc., was the how part, and then the challenge questions. अच्छा जी चलिए let's talk about those challenge questions as well now. So the situation is that we have identified our why part, we have identified the what part. We have, before going into the how part, there are three challenge questions that we ask ourselves. Who will remind us about those three questions? Hand raises, comments. So after why and what, there are three challenge questions. Thank you very much, Zubair. Excellent. What else? Okay. Myra Jalal is saying, logically speaking, it is only after we see something that we start asking the questions. Hence, what may well be the first question. Okay. The next will be why the person is doing it, and thus the third question will be how. Okay. Now we're talking about the three challenge questions that you ask yourselves. What else is one? Another one? What else? Is this the best I can do? Exactly, Varda. Thank you very much. That's the other one. Exactly, Safir. So you're very right. So what? Yeah. So the three challenge questions after that are so what? What else can I do? Yeah. And and the third one was when we go, is this the best I can do? Yeah. So these are the three challenge questions through which you challenge your own thought process, through which you uh, try to make your objective, your goal as focused as possible. uh, of course, कुछ लोग अभी comments लिख रहे हैं why and what. Those have already been addressed. Okay. And how is the content, is the part that comes after you have done the challenging bit, after you have done challenging your thoughts. And through this process of asking these questions, what you try to do is you try to fizzle out, you try to skim, screen, um, if this objective that you are setting, is it inspired by an individual? Is it inspired, or is it a planted interest, or is it an interest that you are yourself passionate about? Okay. So by doing this self-challenging, answering these self-challenging questions, you try to screen out those situations, where it may be an adopted objective. So you see somebody else doing it, it looks fancy, it looks nice, it looks smart, modern, etc. Those influencers, if I may say, of your objective setting process, they are easily weeded out. अच्छा जी. So आपने ये influences भी निकाल दिए, आप true genuine motive के ऊपर arrive कर गए. Okay. आपने अपने ओपा डॉक्यूमेंट के अंदर ऑब्जेक्टिव लिस्ट डाउन कर लिया. ठीक है. पर्पस भी लिस्ट डाउन कर लिया. एंड purpose of course comes from the questions that you ask yourself: why, what, and what else, etc. Then comes the activities, action, is to be done. Okay. And again, um, when you're talking about the activities, it has to be very, very specific. It has to be a granular level. It doesn't have to be a very high level activity objective. Okay. Activity to achieve the objective. So as you go deeper into the how question, um, again, there is a challenge process in your mind. If by doing this activity, do you think you will be able to achieve the objective? How are you sure that you will achieve the objective? Just by doing this activity that is linked up with your objective. Okay. So that is the process through which you further filter out the impact calculation of what impact will an activity have over achievement of your objectives. Okay. It could be that there is one activity which is contributing partially to achievement of an objective, and you need maybe a few other activities to fully achieve one objective. And it could also be that एक एक्टिविटी आप परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं उससे मल्टीपल ऑब्जेक्टिव्स अटैच्ड हैं. ओके, सो ये एक्टिविटी एग्री करने का भी जो प्रोसेस है, that is also, it requires a thought process behind it, and that thought process says that you have to calculate the impact of each activity to be able to see its how closer that activity takes you to your ultimate goal or objective. So I think that was a good session, a good discussion about how we look at the OPA document. अभी हम ये करते हैं कि we will go back and look at that video once again. So Nizam, if you can play the video, and when we come back after that, we will look at the OPA documents of a few individuals जिनको हमने already निज़ाम ने screen out किया हुआ है. We will discuss them here, and then we will conclude today's session looking at your getting your feedback and responses. So Nizam, if you can kindly play the video, I'm going to put myself back on.
If the video for any reason doesn't play, so it is this video that will be available in your handouts, why you will fail to have a great career.
And this is the video that you have watched already. Watch it carefully for some hidden messages. Watch it carefully for better clarity of this video, because it's very, very important when it comes to your objective setting. Yes, Nizam.
Right, so I'll be playing this video. Okay.
All right, thank you very much. Unless any thoughts? I'm so surprised to see, when it's talking about the excuses. Um, these excuses that we make, uh, they're so common all around the world. They're so common excuses that everybody else in the world makes. And of course, in this part of the world, we have more excuses to make, and therefore we bring religion into it. We bring other things into it to satisfy ourselves that it was not fully in my control, and should, it should be accepted, rather than learning from that failure and going on. So exactly, Bilal, and a fantastic video, and I think so many great messages there, so realistic. Yeah? Let's hear from you on some of the excuses that we make. When we have to face a failure, or when we have to face a situation where we're unable to deliver what we're supposed to deliver. And I think the common ones would straightforwardly be, yeah, sorry, no sound. Sambo, can you hear me?
Your
Yes,
audio
no?
is crystal clear, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Um, so I think the most common excuses you hear is, when you haven't performed, or when you haven't succeeded. किस्मत ने साथ नहीं दिया. Yeah. Um, yes, procrastination also. So uh, मैं इतना खुशकिस्मत नहीं हूँ जो बाकी लोग कामयाब हुए, जिनकी सक्सेस, जिन्होंने सक्सेसफुल रहे, वो खुशकिस्मत थे. एक जो स्लाइटली रिलीजियस है, बट अक्सर इसको यूज किया जाता है टू, rather than to learn, इसको यूज किया जाता है एज एन एक्सक्यूज. इसमें इसमें भी कोई बेहतरी होगी. ऑफ कोर्स हमारा ईमान भी है, लेकिन इसको एज एन एक्सक्यूज यूज करना ऑफ योर फेलियर इज रॉन्ग. कैन यू, बिफोर गोइंग बैक टू to start making excuses, can you self-assess, whether you have done the most that you could to achieve this objective, or to or to become successful? And if you think you had left no stone unturned, and still failed, only then you should think about externalities, excuses. दो तरह के लोग होते हैं, and this is a research that has been conducted. I'm sure you must have heard about the two terms: internal locus of control and external locus of control. Have you heard these two terms? Yes, no? Internal locus of control, internal locus of control, and external locus of control. Okay, so I'll just explain. People who have internal locus of control will always look for a reason within themselves, reason for success or reason for failure. They'll start soul searching. They'll start looking at their own self, before they start to go out and blame somebody else and make some other excuses. People with external locus of control will always blame the weather. मैं नहीं आ सका क्योंकि बारिश हो रही थी. Will always blame the person sitting right next to me. Yeah, the air conditioning in the room, the fan was not working, it was too hot, it was too cold, etc., etc. These are individuals who will always put the blame on externalities, external elements, and therefore trying to portray कि ये मेरे control से बाहर था. This was something not within my control. Yeah. So very simply speaking, these are two key elements, of the two types of people. who, before giving out excuses, right? They will probably not do a soul search. So, for example, if somebody has an internal locus of control and he or she has to face a situation, once, first of all, say to himself, probably my heart and soul was not in it. Probably I didn't work hard enough. Probably I could have, done something else. And an individual with an external locus of control will say very simply start blaming or looking for reasons outside of his or her control. So that very briefly defines how people look at these situations of failure. The last bit from that video, unless, and then when he says, if this could have happened, if something else had happened, kash ke ye ho gaya hota, yeah, which is a statement of dismay, afsos, yeah, which is a situation conveying afsos कि अब ये नहीं, काश ऐसा हो गया होता तो मैं कामयाब हो गया होता, right? Once again, a factor showing external locus of control. Yeah. Okay. Imran is saying, so what's the remedy if you know the reason of failure? Let's say you did not get a chance in Big Four. Okay, Imran, ask yourself first of all, right? So, what were the different steps, let's suppose, involved in getting into an MNC, getting into a particular organization, the Big Four. Where would the process begin? Where you start assessing yourself. Let's say, was my academic knowledge perfect? Was my academic record the type that the organization wanted? Did I portray myself well? Right? When I was putting down my resume, when I was compiling my profile, did I portray myself well? Did I stand out from within, the crowd that would have applied for the same position, right? So, and if all of those, you'd really put your heart and soul into it, yeah, not just your heart and soul into making sure that your application reaches there and then sit and wait, yeah. uh, so that's a way of looking at it. Okay, so, and there can be a further deep dive into what would have happened, and then, um, Imran, the thing is that if in the first instance it did not happen, let's suppose, and you're thinking about another chance, what will you do differently this time? What will you do more that you did not do the last time? That is the most important question to address, right? And therefore, um, you know once again, self-reflection, looking at the situation yourself, sitting in a quiet place, thinking out loud to yourself, what do you think did not go right? Forget about the external elements. A lot of people say references nahi the, ye nahi tha, mere abba ne sifarish nahi ki, etc., and God knows what. Yeah, but I mean, leave all those excuses. You know for yourself. I mean, looking at this video, I'm sure you would realize that those are mere excuses. Yeah. Uh, what does it take, for your objective to be achieved? The activities. Remember the activities in the OPA section. What does it take? Right? Were they identified right? Were they delivered to the best of your ability? Yeah. And if it did not succeed, where is the issue in your objective, purpose, activities that needs revision? Okay, so that's that will reflect or tell you where to head next. Major reason of our failure, i.e., we don't distinguish between our interest and passion. Exactly, Amar. There could be 20 interests, like the presenter said, but there could be just one passion. There could be just one interest that turns into a passion. And if you're able to see that passion, if you're able to pinpoint that particular interest, that's work half done. Yeah. Fatani is saying connect with those who succeeded. If it is for learning perspective only, yes. But if it is for for trying to imitate or trying to copy, or I can tell you, I mean, reflection to an extent helps. Yeah? To broaden your horizon helps. Yeah, but beyond that, it can be a deception also. It can be a deception also. It could be set of circumstances, उनके circumstances जिनको आप successful consider कर रहे हैं, और आपके circumstances. Okay. Once again, don't take it towards excuses, but that is what can happen. Okay. चलिए जी, ऐसे करते हैं. अब हम we'll start opening up a few open documents, and we'll have a look at what people have written. And Nizam, before you open up a document, can you please seek permission from the individual? Please make sure the person is present here. Then we'll open up the document. Okay. So over to you, Nizam. Which one is the first one? I think given the time, we'll be able to do 3 or 4. Nizam, if you're there.
Varda, Miss Varda Niaz Chaudhary, if you're there.
Varda, if you're there, please raise hand. Yes, Varda is there. Varda, you are.
I'm muted now.
Varda, there's a bit of distortion in the line. Now better?
Yeah, my internet isn't going as well today, so there might be a bit of distortion.
Up to you. If you, yeah, you can just type in when your internet is of better quality. Yeah.
Okay, okay then.
Right, Varda, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with your document being shared here and being discussed? We will be
Yeah, sure,
asking
I
you
am.
questions.
Yeah, sure, that's no problem.
Okay, Nizam, if you can please put it up. And I want all other participants to be very, very focused. I mean, literally dissect and do a cross section of the OPA document that Varda has submitted. And this should be really, really beneficial for Varda as well. Okay. All right. So, Varda, very quickly, if you can explain. So your objective is
So
to
my
gain.
objective is
Go
to
on.
gain a position in the finance department of one of the 4 companies that I've mentioned. The first of which is the Coca-Cola company, the main company that I want to get into. The reason of the company why I chose this company is because I have interacted and I have attended a few sessions with the company, and I am very impressed by how much effort they put into their employees, and how it was just very impressive to see the portfolio of people they have built for themselves. So it would be, I feel like at this stage that I am currently, it would be very beneficial for me to grow as a professional and to groom myself as a professional if I am part of the Coca-Cola company. And the
Yes.
rest, they are also that I'm also very impressed by the portfolios that these companies have built. The purpose is that at this point, especially being an ACC affiliate, my concern is to learn. I don't want to get into a position of higher level. I don't want too much salaries. I don't want a promotion for the position. At this point, I only want to learn as much as I can and gather the knowledge, because after I am a member, I have all the time and all the opportunities I can get to get to a better position. So at this point, my purpose is to basically enhance and to basically learn what I can. The
Okay.
activities
So
that
your
I chose, go on,
active.
sorry.
Activities, yes.
So the activities that I chose are first of all the articulation skills, which I feel like that I lack uh, greatly. In fact, that I am not confident on my articulation skills at all. For that purpose, it's a practice that I currently do as well. That if I have to make an email to, for example, a lot of people or to a lot of people outside, for example, or any of our main customers, I make my manager, our finance manager, with my emails that I have written, and I notice that what changes he brings into it, and I ask him to criticize the way I write emails, and the way he would write emails, basically.
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
that's the one thing that I feel like is I'm working on, building on my articulation skills. The next activity that I've written is job hunting. The one thing that I feel like I am lacking at this point is how to make my application stand out, how to write a good cover letter. So I'm not just sharing my resume, I am actually making my application stand out from other applications, maybe. And the third that I have written is that I'm currently amid rotation in my company. So I'm shifting from accounts payable department to accounts receivable department. So while I'm looking for a job, maybe in some other company, I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to gain the knowledge of this new function that I have been assigned to. So I am going to try to get the best knowledge and learning out of
Yeah.
this current position that I am being assigned to.
Okay. So let's take it up from here. First, I'm going to ask you, the three challenge questions that we've just discussed. Uh, so what? What else? And is this the best you can do? Did you apply these on the objective?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Harun.
Okay. I'll repeat the question. The three challenge questions that we talked about, right? So what? What else? Is this the best you can do? Yeah. Did you apply these three to the objective that you have set for yourself?
I did not much apply the question of what else, because if we look at what else, then there are so many possibilities that I would
Mm-hmm.
want to do, uh,
Mm-hmm.
to keep the objective of 12 months. But I feel like if I put in two, for example, to complete a different objectives, then that will take me to completely different pathways that I should be taking, to
Mm-hmm.
completely different type of activities that should be doing to achieve those objectives. Currently, I have my 5-year goal is completely different from
Mm-hmm.
what I want in these 12 months. So,
Okay.
limiting myself to these 12 months, I feel like at this moment, this goal is what I want to do.
Okay. All right. And when you were writing down these activities, okay, um, did you think of the impact? So if I were to write down my activities, what will come to my mind is, Nizam, can you please scroll this up a bit? You should be able to see the document here. Right. Thank you. So if this is my objective, the objective is to be the next finance executive in the following company. I'll have to see, uh, the activities. Are they actually giving me that possibility or preparing me to get into this?
Sir,
Additional background.
sorry,
There's a lot
there's
of,
too much noise. Too
yeah.
much noise. Can't hear you now.
Sorry, Vardha, if you can please put yourself on mute. Your internet connection is a bit. Yes, thank you. So let me repeat this. So if it is, if the objective is to get into these organizations, when you write down your activities, it automatically means that you've done a complete analysis of what does it take to get into one of these organizations, which means you understand, what exactly are these organizations looking for. Yeah, you completely understand, how you have to develop those capabilities or skills that these organizations are looking for, in the position of a finance executive. yes, and then you start. So for example, if you've looked at articulation skills as the way of getting in, number one, if you're looking at your own self, right? So articulation is that all that it takes to get into one of these organizations? uh, Job hunting. So networking, I think, will be very, very important. Of course, networking with relevant people, networking with people who are, let's say, ACC members and working in these organizations. Of course, that. Um, and keeping a lookout for available opportunities, rightly so, and work on presenting a standout application. All right. Okay. So I have a bit of an issue with with the letter standout application. So from my experience, if you do not have a targeted resume written for a targeted organization and using a generic application to try to kill too many birds with one stone, it hardly ever works, right? It hardly ever stands out. Okay, so that is straight away the question that I can ask you. So how would you, number one, uh, make sure that articulation skills is what gets you into these organizations? Number two, I agree with you about networking and finding, keeping a tab on when the opportunities arrive in these organizations. Or is there another way of recruitment? So for example, in most of the cases, uh, opportunities are filled up without even being advertised. Yeah. And every organization, literally every organization has found a way of inducting employees through referrals from within the organization. Okay. So, and that doesn't mean necessarily that be a relative. अगर कोई अपने relative को induct करता है किसी organization के अंदर, तो it is looked at. um, it's not quite liked in an organization, right? So remember that. So when you're saying referrals, it means there should be individuals within your network that you're connected to on social media who should be able to tell you, look, this opportunity is available. Are you interested in applying? Yeah. So that is what you mean when you say, a referral, an individual who can refer you to a position. So and that can happen through active networking within these organizations. Okay, any comments uh, from people, from other participants about what Verta has written? Raise hands, please. Any observations that you have about it? No. Okay, how many of you will like to replicate this? I mean, you think this is a perfect OPA document and yours should be similar? You can raise hands or you can type in your messages. Okay, Nasir Mahmood, activities are not in line with the objectives. Okay, we will look into this. Maimuna Askar, activities should be better defined. All right, okay. Will any of you want to unmute and speak? If yes, so Nasir, Maimuna, and Fatani, if you'd like to speak up, please raise hands and we can unmute you. Fatani is impressed by Verda's document. Okay, Usman Khalid. Okay, all right, Usman. There is nothing wrong with having a simple plan or a simple objective, but we've discussed at length on how specific your objective needs to be, how passionate do you need to be about that objective, and you should have answered those five questions in order before going on to how to do it. Yeah. So, Usman, if you have done that and you still arrive at passing 5 exams in 12 months, that's perfectly okay. That's perfectly okay. That would be a short-lived, a short lifespan objective in your OPA document. Verda is good in objectives, but she needs more clarification in activities. Verda, this is good feedback for you. People are suggesting that you need to maybe redefine some of these activities. Activities filtration is necessary to achieve goal adding activities. I agree. Very good effort, Usman Khalid. Appreciating it. Thank you very much. Clear and simple, I think. Safdar is trying to say clear and simple. Plan is simple, but one should be passionate enough to complete. If so, then good enough. Okay. Did any one of you pick up points in there through which could calculate that there was passion? Okay, Abdul Qudus is saying it's a good document, and looking at this, he thinks he needs to work on his document as well. Sure, okay, please go back. Maria Jalal is saying good document, good job. Amar is saying Varda has designed her OPA very well. Just I want to add, do consider promotions too while you're learning, while you're in the learning phase. It'll encourage you to encourage you more and allow you to learn more effectively. All right. So articulation, Faisal, do you think shows her passion? Okay. तो ऑब्जेक्टिव के अंदर आपको कहीं पैशन नजर आ रहा है? निज़ाम, इसको प्लीज अगर आप रोल अप करें, हमें एक दोबारा डॉक्यूमेंट दिखा दें, ऑब्जेक्टिव स्टेटमेंट देखना चाह रहे हैं हम. Okay, to gain a finance executive's position in any of the following companies: Coca-Cola, Nestle, Transworld, and Tetra Pak. Passion, guys. Varda, what do you think? If I can bring you in, if your connection allows, what do you think? Does the statement reflect passion enough? Because if you're not able to do it here, you'll definitely not be able to do it in the job application that you make. What is your own opinion?
So like I said, my articulation skills are not the very best. So I am not impressed by even I am not impressed by the objective statement or the purpose statement that I have written. I feel like I could have presented my idea a lot better. Like I said, I could explain it by the fact that I chose the Coca-Cola company because of the passion. I see the passion of the employer. They the passion they put in their employees, basically. So I feel like even I could have written this so much better, but that's why I wrote the articulation skills on the very first of the list.
I agree. So I think there are certain terminologies or certain terms which are associated with showing off passion. Yeah, and there is a very clear uh, there's a very clear differentiation between choice of positive words versus neutral words versus negative words. Okay, to gain a finance executive's position, yeah, इसी को अगर आप सिर्फ एक इतने से बिट को के अंदर पैशन ऐड करके देखें तो आप इस वर्ड गेन को चेंज करने की कोशिश करेंगे. Yes, yeah, and in any of the following, once again, does not reflect passion of getting into a particular organization. It is one of the following. So I think yes, Varda, so two very clear observations. अभी तक purpose के ऊपर किसी ने comment नहीं किया हुआ, but two clear observations. There should be passion reflecting from the objectives that you've written, and number two, your activities need to be in sync. Yeah, it needs to be aligned, right? And like I said, there could be one activity that could that could be spread across multiple objectives, but there could also be multiple activities pointing to the to achieving the same objective also. So please make sure कि आपने ये चीजें जो हैं इसके अंदर address किया. Great, thank you very much. Purpose to build my expertise and further enhance my knowledge and learning of the industry I'm currently associated with. I think इसको भी इसकी भी refinement की जरूरत है. I think purpose can be defined very well further. I think it is not just your learning and knowledge of the industry. It could be many other factors. It could be, it could be, shaping up your future. So, if initially you're looking at one of these organizations, you feel that these organizations will develop you in a way that you will be prepared for bigger challenges or क्योंकि अगर आप बात करती हैं तो I see packaging industry, I can see bottling industry, and if Transworld is the internet service, the internet provider, if that's the organization you're talking about, there are 3 or 4 different industries that you're talking about over here. Yeah. So, is it a specific industry that you want in? अगर आपकी specific industry होती तो फिर आपके पास Coca-Cola के साथ Pepsi-Cola International होना चाहिए था, etc., etc. And that's what would have defined, or a fast moving consumers good industry could have been another definition. चलिए जी, Nizam, let's move on. Varda, I hope आपने you would have taken this critique positively and you further refine on this. एक और हम कर लेते हैं OPA document देख लेते हैं. That will give us a good idea and that will give everybody else to, जैसे भी हमने देखा questions के अंदर, a lot of people realize के इसको देखते हुए उनको अपने document को further improve करने की जरूरत है. So I think that can continue to happen. Let's very quickly do it. In the meanwhile, if anybody has to go and attend the practice to pass session, you're more than welcome to leave. I will not hold people back. That's also an important session for you to attend. Nizam, can we open up the next OPA document very quickly? अगर कोई volunteer करना चाहता है तो please hand raise कर दे. Now is your opportunity. Okay, Amir Ramzan bhi hain ji. Amir Ramzan ने सबसे पहले hand raise किया. If we can have his document, and then we see if we have time, we'll try to get in Abdul Wahab and Muhammad Fatani and Muhammad Saqib. Let's see, Nizam. Muhammad Amir Ramzan.
Yes. So, who's the first candidate, sir?
Muhammad Amir Ramzan.
I don't seem to find his
Okay.
his submission, maybe.
Amir, आपने submit कराया हुआ है कि नहीं? You can unmute yourself and tell us. Just be quick. Amir, you can unmute yourself.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
आमिर, आपने सबमिट कराया हुआ अपना OPA डॉक्यूमेंट?
जी बॉस, किया था मैंने सबमिट.
Nizam should be able to find it then.
आपने किस वक्त सबमिट करवाया?
मैंने सेशन ज्वाइन करने से पहले तकरीबन 6:36 इतना बजे 6:30 पौने 7 के दरमियान.
मैं उसे काफी पहले around 6 o'clock में ये डाउनलोड कर चुका हूँ. So you didn't fall within the time frame. I will have to download the whole thing again.
Okay. अच्छा चले आमिर, सॉरी हम किसी और सेशन में देख लेते हैं. Can we then move on to Abdul Wahab Shah?
Okay, Harun sir, you can go forward.
जी, thank you आमिर. सॉरी हमारे पास आपका जो डॉक्यूमेंट था वो नहीं विजिबल था इसको. जी निजाम.
Abdul Wahab Shah document में देख रहा हूँ, it's empty actually.
Oh, oops, okay. Abdul Wahab Shah ने probably सही document submit, ठीक रहा. Again, something very something very important. Please make sure ये जो IT की gimmickry होती है ना, ये IT के failures जो होते हैं, there was a time when they were considered an excuse. Honestly speaking, हम अभी excuses की बात कर रहे थे. There was a time when IT capabilities or IT difficulties were taken as an excuse. अभी भी, you know, I still feel, जब कोई चीज, in a meeting when somebody makes an excuse that IT is acting up, my laptop is acting up, that simply reflects your inability to take control of the problems that you may face. Yeah. चलें, हम इसको भी अभी छोड़ते हैं. सॉरी, अब हम मोहम्मद फतानी के डॉक्यूमेंट को जल्दी से देख लेते हैं. I think more time we spend in selecting, the more time we lose in from our discussion. मोहम्मद फतानी ने अगर सबमिट किया हुआ है, जल्दी से ओपन कर लें. जिन लोगों की सबमिशन अभी नहीं हुई सही, इनको जल्दी से सही सबमिट कर दें, बिकॉज दीज आर गोइंग टू बी रिकॉर्डेड, दीज डॉक्यूमेंट्स आर गोइंग टू बी केप्ट विद अस. मोहम्मद फतानी के डॉक्यूमेंट को देखिए जल्दी से. How many issues? There we go. All right. Okay, colorful document. Okay, all right. Let's look at that. या हम ऐसे कहते हैं कि चूंकि ये 3 objectives लिखे हुए हैं, हम let's get मोहम्मद फतानी in to pick up his passion out of 3 objectives and to discuss it. G, I have unmuted you. Mohammad Fatani, if you can unmute yourself.
थैंक यू. सबसे पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव तो जो जर्नी स्टार्ट की है ACCA की, वो अकम्प्लिश करना, ताकि जो एक डिसएडवांटेज मार्केट में रहता है कि आप क्वालिफाइड नहीं हैं और जो अचीवमेंट्स आप अचीव करना चाहते हैं वो अचीव नहीं कर पाते हैं, जो पोजीशंस आप अचीव करना चाहते हैं वो अचीव नहीं कर पाते हैं. तो सबसे पहले तो ACCA पेपर्स, नॉट पेपर्स, नॉलेज भी गेन करना है, और वो ACCA तो उसके प्रोग्राम के थ्रू बहुत अच्छी तरीके से डिलीवर भी करता है. तो ACCA सबसे पहले क्लियर करना है. इसके बाद जो है इसके बाद जो है मूव भी करना है इस्लामाबाद, ताकि कराची से मूव होकर किसी अच्छे क्लीन एंड ग्रीन इन्वायरमेंट में जाया जाए.
Okay.
और
Interesting.
उसको सपोर्ट करने के लिए 6 डिजिट प्रोग्राम की तरह ही, मतलब 6 डिजिट सैलरी ही चाहिए. और तीसरा ऑब्जेक्टिव जो कि अचीव करना है वो कि एम पोजीशन फाइनेंस एंड communication, telecommunication industry, or any technical or IT industry.
Okay.
और जो पर्पस है उसका कि फाइनेंशियली बेटर होना, और इसके साथ साथ जो है मतलब उन इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को चूज करने का मकसद यही है कि ये हाईली रेप्यूटेबल और अमेजिंग माइंड्स के साथ काम करना, और जहाँ पे रिवॉर्डिंग कल्चर है. इससे पहले HBL में भी मैंने इंटर्नशिप की है ACCA प्रोग्राम के थ्रू, तो वहाँ से एक्सपीरियंस है कि नहीं. अब इससे पहले HBL से पहले मैं एक छोटी कंपनी में था जो कि फॉरवर्डिंग एंड क्लियरिंग फॉरवर्डिंग कंपनी थी. तो उसके बाद HBL के बाद जो एक्सपीरियंस मिला वो उसने मुझे बस बहुत ही ज़्यादा एक विजन दिया कि नहीं, ये एक प्लेस है जहाँ बंदा जो है वो ग्रो होता है. to achieve this goal, एक्टिविटीज की तरफ आए तो नेटवर्किंग के थ्रू जो है मुझे अंदाज़ा होगा कि मैं अपने नेटवर्क के साथ बात कर सकता हूँ कि वो मुझे बताएं कि वो कौन सी एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, वो कौन सी कॉम्पिटेंसीज हैं जो कि उन्होंने डेवलप की उनके रोल में, और जो ज़रूरी भी हैं उनकी इंडस्ट्री में और उनके रोल से रिलेटेड. और इंग्लिश लर्निंग भी बहुत ज़रूरी है आज की इंडस्ट्री में टू कम्युनिकेट, नॉट लोकली बट इंटरनेशनली भी. अगर आपने कम्युनिकेट करना है तो इंग्लिश लर्निंग भी बहुत ज़रूरी है, और इसके लिए भी एक प्रोफेशनल प्लेटफॉर्म ज़रूरी है, बर्लिट्स जैसा. और इसके साथ साथ मैंने जो उसको इस एम पोजीशन को अचीव करने के लिए अपने टारगेट्स भी सेट किए हैं बेस्ड ऑन रिस्पांस फ्रॉम नेटवर्क। कोई नया स्किल फॉर द मंथ, मतलब एक अचीव करना है 12 महीनों में। और रेगुलरली जॉब सर्च में, मतलब क्योंकि अपॉर्चुनिटीज नॉट ऑलवेज अवेलेबल, जैसे अवेलेबल होती है you have to click, you have to respond to that opportunity.
Good.
तो ये
Okay.
एक्टिविटीज
I
है।
think excellent. It gives us a very good idea, very good understanding of your objective. I think interestingly, अभी जो discussion हम वर्दा के document पे कर रहे थे, you have addressed quite a few of them yourself. So, for example, if I pick up on this statement, which one was it? Activities, asking for suggestions, what competencies are required related to the role. This is exactly what we were talking about when you're talking about Bata's document. So you have to find out what are these organizations looking for, that with the help of which you can get into an organization. तो आपने अच्छा किया हुआ, आपने वो categorically address किया हुआ। जो एक aspect आपके document में improvement, I mean this document I think is a step further than Varda's, I think, in my opinion. जो चीज जो भी हम word passion describe कर रहे थे in your objective, right? I think in the objective statement वो passion अभी नजर नहीं आया, right? लेकिन
हाँ,
आपने
मुझे भी
जिस आपने डिटेल में एक्टिविटीज लिस्ट डाउन की हुई हैं, that automatically gives an impression that you have thought through the entire process. You have thought through these, through the process of what will it take you to get into these organizations. So your activities are much better aligned, but the passion, that sort of needs to be reflected in your objective statement. Yes. So let's
yes.
hear from other participants on what do they say about your OPA document. So Nizam, if you can have the questions window open. Thank you, Nizam. All right, great. All right. हमने इसके अंदर से जो मेरा ख्याल है एक पर्टिकुलर ऑब्जेक्टिव पे किया है, हम उसको डिस्कस कर लेते हैं, राइट? बाकी ऑफ कोर्स मैमूना हमने इसमें पर्सनल ऑब्जेक्टिव भी इंडिविजुअल ने इंक्लूड किए हुए, दैट्स ऑलराइट. आई मीन वी कांट ऑब्जेक्ट टू an objective being wrong, right? Maybe based on Muhammad, your priorities, your preferences, maybe your objectives are also, as long as they are specific, they are focused, they are well defined, I think perfectly understandable. Let's look at this particular objective that we are talking about, which was about getting into an assistant manager's position, right? And the purpose behind it, and then the activities. All right, let's see any comment other than Mamuna's. Nizam, a window बहुत ज़्यादा हिला रहे हैं. Muhammad Amir is saying nicely presented. Okay. Faiz Khalid is saying, why Islamabad? Karachi has a bigger industry. This came to my mind as well, but of course that was a different objective, and that is linked to your personal liking and disliking also. I'm sure with the current situation in Karachi of sanitation and the civic difficulties, there are many people who may be relocating. So I just thought it could be that.
Very true, sir.
Yeah, so here Vasam is saying Karachi is green, maybe. Yes, greener in terms of financial, if in my time when we were graduating, the entire financial services sector, I mean, people who were interested in working in that, they straight away, their first plan was, we have to be in Karachi. There was an individual, I categorically remember his comment that he used to make. उस जमाने में एक बैंक होता था, ABN AMRO Bank. And sorry, Memuna, I think, can you hear me down here? Any voice issues? Nizam, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So मेरा एक colleague था, an individual who was studying with me. उसको ABN AMRO में internship मिली, internship. And उसने मुझे एक statement दी थी कि Harun, I am the one who goes in the morning to the bank and open up the main door myself, and I am the one who comes out last and make sure the bank is locked. So उसकी इस एक statement के अंदर जितना passion reflect कर रहा था, ABN AMRO Bank, which was known to hire certain kind of individuals, etc. He stayed with that organization, started from the rock bottom in that organization, and at the moment he is in Faisal Bank in an executive vice president's position. Yes, Usman, you're right. It was taken over by RBS. But I mean, I'm talking more about the passion. And when talking about cities, he started in Lahore, he ended up in Karachi. And if it's about financial services sector, automatically your choice is Karachi. But if it is, let's say, the telecom sector, of course Karachi is not the right place. If it is the oil and gas sector, if it is the NGO or the development sector, the right place to be is Islamabad. So rightly so. All right, so other comments. Usman Alam is saying, I think very clear objective for 12 months, very clear activities, but need clarification and purpose of job, AM and telecommunication companies. I agree. I tend to agree with you, Usman Alam and Fatani, Muhammad Fatani. If you have to look at it once again, probably that needs a bit of sort of finding articulation. Okay, but good effort overall. I think considerable when you look at activities, very focused, and you drill down deep. So I think that's a good example. How many of you will like to have liked Patani's document and will like their document to be somewhat similar? Not the objectives, the layout of the document, the attention to detail, the drill down. Okay, great. Thank you very much. Great. Okay. I think one last, and we can very quickly do it. Agar Nizam jaldi se document open kar dein, one last document to look at, and then we'll move on. So मैं सबके hand lower कर रहा हूँ, जो सबसे पहले hand raise करेगा, उसका document हम खोलेंगे जी. And that was Zan Said. मैंने pick कर लिया. Zan का document जल्दी से देखें जी. Zan Said's document. Hurry up. Great. Thank you, Zan. But Zan, your document has to be better than the two that we've already seen. Okay. Zan Said. Okay. All right, Zan, आपको हम unmute कर रहे हैं. Take us through this document very quickly, and everybody else in the call, please, with a keen eye, give good, positive, constructive feedback to Zan. G Zan, unmute, shoot. Zan, you're self-muted.
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you. Go on, please.
Okay. Okay. So my objective for the next 12 months is to gain an experience and knowledge within the audit and taxation about the Pakistan industry, and for this I have planned to pursue the CA qualification as well after getting my exemptions, and just pinpointing the relevant taxation papers and just is getting the relevant knowledge. And secondly, I have planned to learn about the short-term investment and the possible return that I can make to manage my current cash flows through some investments that I can make. Secondly, the purpose is to enhance my existing skill set, that as I am currently working in one of the multinational, but still I feel that I have some lack of expertise that one should have to cope up within the local market and industry, so that every ACCA individual face within the interview questions that कि आपको करंट टैक्सेशन के रिजीम के बारे में नॉलेज है या नहीं है, फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट इज अबाउट द एम्प्लॉयर वांट्स एंड व्हाट इट नीड्स अबाउट। थर्डली, इसको अचीव करने के लिए मैंने नेटवर्किंग पे अपना एक फोकस किया है, एक प्रोफेशनल नेटवर्क अपने लिंक्डइन के थ्रू अपने विद इन द हब इसको अचीव किया है। और लर्निंग के लिए मैंने ये ऑनलाइन लेक्चर्स लिए हैं टैक्सेशन के, जो यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल हैं, और उसको एनहांस करने की कोशिश की कि व्हाट डज सेक्शन 149 सेज अबाउट हाउ डज द सैलरीड इंडिविजुअल्स एंड हाउ द AOPs and how does the companies filing tax returns, other stuff they had over the YouTube. And but all over that I want to achieve the practical exposure regarding and go beyond those lectures and to experience what does it take. Thirdly, मैंने एक ऑब्जेक्टिव रखा है कि मैं अपना एक नॉलेज आर्टिकल रोजाना एक पढूं और अपनी क्या नाम है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स को भी
बात
इनहांस
करें, आप ऑब्जेक्टिव की बात करें,
जी
एक्टिविटीज
की बात करूं जी।
और
और
ऑब्जेक्टिव है ओके
या और अपने करंट इश्यूज के बारे में इसको स्टडी करूं और अपना एनालिटिकल स्किल्स को एनहांस करने के लिए मैंने एक चीज़ डिज़ाइन की कि फ्रॉम माय लास्ट सेशन के अपने वन एक MNC कंपनी की फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स को गो थ्रू करूं कि व्हाट दे हैज रिटन एंड व्हाट डज दे मीन रियली मीन बिकॉज अदर देन बुक्स वी हैवंट gone through all the annual financial statements of the company, बस हम उसको देखते हैं कि this is just like a book and we never ever touched professionally like what is does it says
okay
most of the individuals.
great
So I
thank you
have an
very much
objective to yeah
थैंक यू जैन थैंक यू वेरी मच आई थिंक आपके जो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स हैं उसको सबसे पहले तो ऑब्जेक्टिव को देख के एक कमेंट मुझे याद आता है फसी जका हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू listen to his radio show every evening while driving back home? Fasi Zaka, have you heard of this individual? He used to work for, he's a civil services officer, he used to work for British Council, and he also does, FM 89 uh, FM 89 shows. Um, he was he came on board with ACCA and did a few sessions for us back then.
okay
He asked this question from participants who used to say मैं ACCA के बाद CA या CA के बाद ACCA और फिर ICAW और फिर another organization. He would ask them this question: why would you want to do, or why do you not do your matriculation twice? Why do you not do your intermediate thrice? If you don't do those twice or thrice, why do you want similar qualifications to be stacked up? And this is a tendency that we have in this part of the world only. If you're in the UK and you are a professional accountant, and then you say, I want to do another professional accounting qualification, people will say, why at all? I mean, why would you not consider growing further into a specific direction rather than doing the same thing again? So what is the dependence of being a tax professional to, let's say, getting yourself enrolled in another accounting qualification? Yeah. And considering that your qualification also gives you the same opportunities that the other qualifications also offer. If you look at the If you look at the Finance Act, talking about the eligibility of different qualifications to be tax professional, the tax. Anyhow, I think that is one observation. I think other observation is once again, reflection of passion that has to be there, right? If it is about improving your existing skills and enhancing new skills, I think it's adequately written. I'm quite happy with your activities. Once again, listing down of your activities, the way you have identified, Pakistan taxation, studying cases about taxation, um, you know. But I think if you take that a level higher and you look at what the world is talking about at the moment when it comes to taxation, how is taxation being done on digital transactions which take place in multiple countries? How is the world trying to, let's suppose, tax Google? Yeah, how is the world going to tax transactions taking place on Amazon, on AliExpress, right? So that is a
Yeah.
very interesting emerging field. So if you take it a step higher, that is what can open up for you. So if it is like, and if you, let's suppose you're talking about, the impact of um, tax management in an organization, in
Yeah.
a corporate sector organization, right? And then bring it down to, further taxation studies and knowing the Finance Act, and so start from the root where it begins. Why do we need to manage taxation? What kind of taxation to be managed? And then, spread or focus into various fields. If it is local taxation, what do we need to do? If it is international taxation, what do you need to understand? Okay. So I think that is my
Okay.
feedback. I have left out your other objective deliberately about short-term investment. Let's very quickly hear from participants also. So let's, Nizam, if you can expand the questions, please. Okay. Thank you, Nizam. Rabia is saying how objective statement would be argument in showing that it should be passion. Um, Rabia, look for words that reflect passion, right? Um, and they're very easily found. And if you look at, if you Google certain terms, it can very easily be found. But they should be reflecting your emotions of how strongly do you feel about achieving this objective. Zishan, one question for all three participants, Verda, Muhammad Khatani, and Zain. Why you guys go for employment? Even since we have started, we've talking about the mindset and the mindset of world leaders. Even in one video, said business quadrants is excellent where we have to explore and remain for a long time. So I think a valid question. Um, why are we all looking towards employment? Has anyone thought about entrepreneurship? Has anyone thought about being self-employed? So those are good reflections. Uh, Look at this as a suggestion for your objectives. Okay, but once again, only get into this if you have the passion for it. Remember, it is you who define what your passion is, right? Um, Okay, so look at that. Usman Alam is saying, good effort, Zan, nice presentation, but clarification missing. Need to think very deep into what and why. I tend to agree, Usman. So I think what and why, what else, why this? Yeah. So that needs to be. I mean, challenge yourself on these objectives. Nasir Mahmood is saying, what should be done after ACCA? What do you suggest? I asked the same question after my MBA, and I asked the same question from my dean, who was a finance champion, and he went on to become the dean of King Saud University, and now a dean in LUMS. And he again said the same thing to me. I said, should I do another degree program? I said, you already have done your degree. So what else? They build up on it, right? Do certifications, special courses. So if you look at your, I mean, the programs available to you, I think if you're getting into, for example, internal audit, there is a qualification available that could top up, right? It makes sense. It's more specializing. If it is investment management, of course, it makes sense to do CFA as well. Yeah. Um, if you want to get into management, I agree, an MBA program could be helpful. Yeah. So look at those options rather than repeating a qualification. Look at those options which can get you a further advantage. Having done a
Okay.
professional accounting qualification already.
Yeah.
ICMAP, Imran Zia, if your objectives are such that you want, let's suppose, particularly practice in Pakistan, practice, and straight away you want a route to be made available. That's exactly the purpose why this strategic partnership agreement with ICMAP has been formed, to give our members an opportunity to become ICMAP members and set up their own practice in Pakistan, their audit practice in Pakistan. Okay, so as you know, there's ICMAP has been given this this role of conducting assurance services, but to organizations limited limited turnover. So I think that straight away gives an opportunity to individuals who are interested in continuing to work further, but then looking at their own practice. Okay. However, I think quite a long, detailed discussion I understand has been done with Sajid about audit or assurance, particularly audit being a limiting field if you're setting up your own practice. Yeah. So just remember that. In terms of revenue, it is a limitation.
Okay.
Okay. Vardha is saying, Zishan, my long-term goal is exactly what you talked about, business. But for 12 months, I want to make the best use of articleship period. Vardha, I can quote one instance to you. Once again, a conversation that I would not forget when I was through with my MBA program. My dean said to me, play with somebody else's money first and then put your own money, put your own stakes in it. So, if it is about learning initially, the 3 years practical experience requirement gives you enough exposure for you to learn the ropes of a particular field that you're getting into, right? And then after the 3 years, you can go on and set up your own business, your own, whatever your own passion is. Alia Jalal is saying entrepreneurship is more important. There is so much talent present in our society, but the thing is, we always fear of getting failed. Exactly what the video also talked about: fear, overcoming that fear. That's the main problem our generation is facing. They're accepting 9 to 5 jobs and not something new, or don't have much resources available. Okay, external locus of control, Maria, I would say. Let's read what Kurutulain Ahmed has written. Also, it would be great if you suggest some short courses to improve our employability. Um, Kurutulain, very simple. You're talking about these organizations, right? See what can get you in. Yeah. See what can get you in. What do the employers require? Short courses, a number of individuals have identified a number of short courses. Yeah. Um, just number one, remember your objective first. Yeah. Any course you take has to be aligned to this objective. See how, calculate the impact that short course will generate, in achieving your objective. That should be the criteria. That is what you should search for. Okay. It'll be great if you suggest, okay, done. Can I get the information in email about ACC and ICMAP Alliance? Imran, yes, there was a webinar that was held today. You can get in touch with us afterwards. We'll give you more details. Memuna Askar is saying, but sir, in ACCA, we don't have better understanding of IT, economics, portfolio management, etc. So of course, Memuna, if you like to pursue, let's suppose, information technology particularly, or economics particularly, by all means, I mean, you can dig deeper, you can go further into, for example, an MBA program will have better content on economics, and MSc in economics will have, some more content. But that only if it links up with your passion. That only if it links up with your passion. Okay, entrepreneurship. Excellent suggestion. Fatani Sajid has talked about entrepreneurship. Um, Dan wanted to ask something, you have not written it down. Daniel is saying, I think ACC gives so much exposure after membership and has affiliations with many professional bodies. So we should avail that rather focusing the national on the local body. Yes, I agree. ACCA, if you're talking about the qualification, the paper setting, I think there's so many people, so many experts involved at so many different levels. Yeah, that I think the qualification by its content, by its examination, um, is unmatched. So hands down, that is what what you should try to reap when you're doing your qualification. Okay, Ishan is saying if your current role aligns the business you're going to do, then your experience is valid and help you. Otherwise, exactly, I agree with you. Your if it aligns with your overall objective, right, or your slightly middle term to long term objective, if it falls in place, then one thing will lead into another, one objective will lead into another. Okay, so your one objective can become an activity for a longer term objective. Zan's microphone is on mute. नहीं Zan, it's unmuted. आप कर सकते हैं इसको unmute कर सकते हैं. So I think one last comment before we call it off. We've taken about 45 minutes.
Okay. I just wanted to ask something. Like I was just before my current employment, I was just in as an SMC working for an overseas audit firm, accounting firm, and for like bookkeeping activities and all other stuff, VAT reconciliation. But then I moved within a multinational company and within the ERP section. But it doesn't taste me well and doesn't suits my the passion that I want to go for.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I want to go for this audit firm and path
That's
the
perfectly okay. And the thing, Zan, that's exactly what the video that we played today once again explains. That is nothing wrong in reviewing and changing your decision middle way. Yeah. So if there are many individuals who may be musicians today, but they started an accountancy qualification first, or many individuals who started doing something else, but now they're doing accountancy. Well, that's perfectly all right. You should not be afraid of taking that decision. Yeah.
secondly,
As long as it aligns with your objectives. I mean, that is the key question.
okay. Secondly, the that you talk about the CA qualification कि आप metric के बाद metric ही क्यों करना चाहते हैं. So when I started my career and then okay जब मैंने अपने firms को approach करना start किया तो below the top 15 firms when I go and drop my CV there and they said are you willing to stay or you don't have that qualification that we require because you are not a chartered accountant, qualified chartered accountant, or you don't have a CA badge. Do you have to? So that lacks me. That's this एक demotivating factor सा create हो जाता है जो मुझे feel
Yeah, I think there are some artificial boundaries that have been set in, but then look at individuals who have jumped past these boundaries, these obstacles. Yeah. Remember, look at these organizations, the firms that you're talking about, as businesses. They are not there to train individuals only. They are there to make money. Simple.
Yeah.
When they're there to make money, what do they look for? Certain skill set, right? Where is the
Yeah.
most of their money coming from? Which activities? Maybe financial advisory, maybe secondments, etc. Right? Do you have an advantage there? Can you pitch yourself for those positions? Yeah. So think on those lines. मैं अभी बहुत deep नहीं जा रहा इसके अंदर because this is specific to your situation. But look at those possibilities. It's not that these organizations do not need talent, do not need manpower. It's not. I mean that their earning comes from the price at which they sell your service to a client versus the price that they pay to the individuals who are doing that work. That is the profit margin. Yeah. So without those
Yeah.
skilled individuals, these firms or these organizations might cease to function or might cease to exist. If their cost of services goes very, very high, of course their profit margin narrows, and that's something that all businesses will try to avoid. So when you say when you're looking at these organizations, look at their business side, look at their broader reason for existence. Okay, they are not just training
Okay.
organizations; they're looking for the best talent. Okay, and I can I used to work at ACCA initially as the head of business development. Yeah, and my role was to go and interact with employers and partners and firms and all. And believe you me, um, I will not name the individual. I am talking about most of the partners that we met, unless they had a specific preference or they were prejudiced. Without naming any individual, they used to say that the quality of talent that goes into ACCA, right, is what sets them apart. The way that talent has been built, and then specifically when they're talking about the communication skills that ACCA trainees possess, that sets them apart, and that is what we need when we are looking for individuals working in our organization. Okay, so remember, I mean, ये अब थोड़ी सी पुरानी बात हो गई है. I mean, this is back in 2005, 6 or 2007 when I was in that role. But this is from horse's mouth. This is what your fraternity, the ACCA fraternity, is praised for. Build up on it. That's your distinction. इन चीजों को देखते हुए the competitive bodies उन्होंने अपने programs के अंदर presentation skills के trainings add कर ली, etc. But believe you me, it comes, I mean, communication skills comes from various other sources. But in the end, it only comes to you when you apply it, when you actually do it yourself. It's just like swimming. Take a plunge, swim. Don't just sit on the on the side of a swimming pool reading a book. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Fatani, exactly. You're confirming my point. I mean, if it's still happening, remember this is your USP, your unique selling proposition, right? Build up on it. Okay. Take it to a level where nobody can match you. I mean, with 30-second pitch, Jyoti, that was your first impression. Why did we talk about that first of all in a 6 digits program, your 30-second introduction? Because that is where the impression begins. Okay. All right, great. Thank you very much. Taking a lot of your time. I really enjoyed this session. Your feedback. Need your feedback as well. And then continuing on to the next session, I think we start Sajeev when he comes in next time. We'll be talking about the business proposition. Okay, thank you very much. Any last comments? Did you enjoy the session? Was it useful? Let me know. Great. Thank you, Aisha. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amar. Varda, thanks a lot. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So इसका टेस्ट ये होता है कि of this conversation, we've done this conversation for about 2 hours now. How much of it can you retain? Okay, so remember that, and keep practicing, keep bringing it back to your mind, and keep applying it in your work. Nasser, you're right, too much to absorb, but that's exactly why I said you'll have to keep revisiting it to really apply it in the workplace. All right, thank you very much. With that, we come to a close. Have a great rest of the day, as if there is too much left, but have a great day. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.